The topics which are covered in this video are etymology, meaning, history, definition, nature, and scope of psychology. Etymology is the study of the origin of words and the way in which their meanings have changed throughout history. So, it is just the story of words, how it has originated and how it has evolved through time. The term psychology came from two Greek terms which are psyche and logia. So Greek is an ancient language and there was these two terms which are psyche and logia. Psyche can be understood as soul or spirit, and the second term logia can be roughly translated into the study of, the story of, or the research. So when you put together psyche plus logia, we get the study of soul. The earliest known literary reference to psychology in the history of the discipline appeared in the work of Croatian writer Marko Marulic, written between 1510 to 1570. The first English usage of the word psychology is credited to Stephen Blanchard, who was a Dutch physician. He used the term psychology in the Physical Dictionary, which he produced in the year 1694. In 1890, William James defined psychology as the science of mental life, both of its phenomena and their conditions. So with this definition of William James, psychology, the usage of psychology shot up and it has become more and more popular. Though psychology's existence as a separate scientific discipline can only be traced back to few centuries, the subject matter of modern-day psychology was addressed by early philosophers. Many issues the modern psychology addresses were widely discussed in the philosophies originating from the ancient civilizations of Egypt, Greece, China, India, and Persia. This means that though psychology as a scientific discipline is only few hundred years old, the matters which the contemporary psychologists are excited about or worried about, these issues were discussed far before by philosophers without the label of psychology. Over the period, the definition of the term psychology underwent several changes. It's very interesting that the meaning and what psychology itself has changed a number of times. In the beginning, as you have seen from the etymology of the term psychology, it was considered as the study of soul. So as per the understanding, the old way of understanding, human beings are fueled by the mechanisms of the soul. So their soul is the energy which controls human beings. It is the invisible energy which is often religiously explained. When psychology started appearing more and more in the academic literature, many put forward the idea that the soul or the concept of soul doesn't have a definition outside religion. And many even contested whether soul actually exists or not. As a result of that, gradually, psychology's definition underwent a major change. And that change was psychology was defined as the study of mind rather than soul. Thereby, it came down from the religious concept of soul into mind. So mind is not religious. It is, though it is an abstract concept, everyone knows that at least it exists, or at least people feel that mind is something which exists. From then, again, there was numerous developments, and gradually there was a group of psychologists who opinioned that psychology should study observable behavior, not mind. Mind is again an abstract concept, just like soul. Uh, we cannot observe mind, or we cannot study mind. Just because of it is not observable, we cannot study it or measure it. So what psychology should focus is observable behavior in the environment, or the factors which influence observable behavior, which can be studied. And that is how, from soul to mind, and from mind, psychology was gradually explained as the study of behavior. And then again, there was one problem with the definition of the study of behavior, psychology as the study of behavior. That is, when you explain psychology as the study of behavior, it misses out certain kind of information, certain kind of processes which people generally agree which are going on inside us, and some processes which we human beings can actually feel, such as thought, such as problem solving, such as memory. A lot of these ideas are not inclusive in the definition of in the behavioral definition of psychology. Therefore, psychology's definition gradually changed into the study of behavior and mental process. So modern day psychologists generally agrees with this definition of psychology. They agree that psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental process. To understand the nature of psychology, it is again a little bit tricky, because psychology is a lot different from other social sciences such as humanities or political science or sociology. And at the same time, psychology is also different from pure sciences such as biology, physics, chemistry, maths, and such that. So psychology's role, or psychology's place or classification in the academic arena is often confused, and that is the reason why in so many universities, psychology is considered as art. Psychology is considered as a subject in the art stream. They stay under the school along with sociology and humanities and other subjects such as political science. At the same time, in a growing number of universities started treating psychology as a science stream subject, and that is why many universities offer courses such as BA and MA in psychology, and many other institutions also offer BSc in psychology and MSc in psychology. So there are a lot of scientific interventions in the way psychology is studied. Psychology is studied in a lot of ways which are very different from how it was studied 1 or 2 centuries before. So this is evidence that psychology is being treated as a scientific discipline, although it is differentiated from pure branches of science such as physics, chemistry, or biology. But one thing we should understand is that in many countries, in several countries, to be a psychologist, you have to be registered, or you have to you have to gain a license in order to work as a psychologist. And in order to register as a psychologist, you need to gain a degree, and this means that psychology is treated as a professional subject, as equal to other professional degrees such as engineering or medical doctors or physicians. Psychology is also being treated as a professional subject, which is a way by which a person can acquire license to work in this particular profession. And at the same time, we can also see a lot of applied branches of psychology which is emerging in the recent times. So psychology's scope is increasing, and it has a confused position, confused classification in the universities, and it is also being considered as a professional subject in several countries. So that summarizes the nature of psychology. To understand the scope of psychology, scope refers to the application of the subject knowledge. That means, what actually can be done with the knowledge in psychology, or what is the purpose of the knowledge which are created in psychology. So to answer this question in the easiest way, what is the scope of psychology, or what is the application of the subject knowledge of psychology? Wherever behavior and mental process plays an important role, psychology can be applied, and that is literally everywhere. Anywhere where human beings are working, human beings are interacting with one another or with the environment, psychology will find an application. And that is why numerous branches of psychology, or numerous subfields or specializations in psychology, is emerging every year. Nowadays, the specializations in psychology is unlimited. Anywhere you can think of, you can find a specialization which deals with psychology. So the subject area or the scope of psychology is unlimited. It is literally anywhere human beings are interacting, human beings are feeling, and human beings are existing. Everywhere we can find applications for psychology. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, I will be talking about the perspectives of psychology, or the different school of thoughts of psychology.